I have a vegetable garden, and I love working in my vegetable garden. It's like having an experience of God's presence when I'm in it. It's quiet. I'm there early in the morning. And this one morning I went out, and this hummingbird came up about 8 to 10 inches away from me. I could hear the humming, and I could feel a little air from his wings. And I'm sure it stayed there from about 5 to 10 seconds. And I couldn't move. I was just stunned by the fact that it stayed there looking at me. And it gave me the experience from the scripture where Moses sees a burning bush and he couldn't move. And that was the feeling that I had. I have this one particular patient that I'm following who has had a real problem with alcohol addiction. He was one of my patients who often went to the ER, get sick, get better, go home, drink again, end up back in the hospital. So I saw him a few weeks after he was in the hospital, and he was sober, doing really well, blood pressure down to the floor because he wasn't drinking. And I encouraged him, talked about addictions and alcohol and what it was doing to his body. Came in the next time, blood pressure sky high, been drinking again, supported him, talked to him, and said, okay, let's start all over again, the alcohol thing one day at a time. He came in a few weeks later, and I think this was his 3rd or 4th visit. Blood pressure down on the floor again because he's not drinking. And he was really pleased that he had gone these 2 or 3 weeks without drinking again. And I was also pleased. And he said, you're the reason why I'm not drinking, that I'm trying really hard not to drink. And I said, oh, why is that? And he said, well, because you're explaining things to me. He said, I understand things that I didn't understand it before. I said, but you're also doing it because you have teenage kids and you don't want them to drink. And he said, yeah, for them too. All of a sudden, I had the same feeling with him there that I had with the hummingbird. I felt like this was a holy moment. And so I told him my hummingbird story, and he didn't say anything for a few minutes. And then he said, maybe the hummingbird was thanking you for all the flowers you put in the garden for him. And I thought to myself, he got it. And he came back another time after that, and he remembered the hummingbird story, and he says, no, he's still sober. So I think he's gone about probably a month now, maybe 6 weeks in sobriety. But that was a real special moment.